Iran has announced their hypersonic Khorramshahr 4 missile has been put into combat service. You can see it being tested right here. This is an incredible feat. It reaches around 16 Mach, while its speed inside the atmosphere reaches around 8 Mach. Some people were saying, Jackson, how do we know for certain if a war is going to happen? I guess the only way you know for certain if a war is going to happen is if, in fact, you see 4K footage of one of these Khorramshahr 4 missiles headed directly for Tel Aviv. The Iranians are very clear. If the U.S. does not stop with all these like overreaching demands in the negotiations, there is going to be, in fact, a very, very big conflict. There is no such thing as a limited strike on Iran at this moment. Brigadier General Yadola Javani came out and said, "We will not back down from our positions, nor do we seek war. But if the enemy makes a mistake, we will respond to it with force. The Iranian negotiating team will not hesitate and will go with full confidence in the power and military capabilities of Iran." The Khorramshahr 4 missile has great destructive power, and enemies must realize that. War on Iran will turn into a regional war, and U.S. forces are suffering from weakness compared to the past. If the enemies make a mistake in their calculations, this will be their last mistake in the region. You know what? If the war happens, China should just go and take Taiwan. According to Noor News, Iran is preparing to announce a major structural decision in response to new threats. Now, what could it be? A lot of people are thinking, what, command system, military configuration, strategic doctrine, maybe being the biggest one. Well, if you guessed the latter, you were correct. Iran has upgraded ballistic missiles, first of all. Iran has completed a technical upgrade of its ballistic missile arsenal and formally shifted its military doctrine to a more offensive one. The country's armed forces chief of staff has announced the move comes as the U.S. has deployed a carrier strike group to the region, and also USS aircraft carrier George W. Bush is head there as well. Speaking on Wednesday, during a visit to an underground Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps missile facility, Major General Abdurrahim Musavi stated that by upgrading ballistic missiles in all technical dimensions, Iran has been able to strengthen its deterrent power. He directly linked the strategic pivot to the 12-day war. And also, we have seen that the Iranians have decided to change its military doctrine to an offensive one after the U.S.-Israeli strikes during the 12-day war. So let's break it down. If, in fact, Iran is hit by a missile, be it from the United States, be it from Israel, what could possibly happen next? American military ships are in the Persian Gulf. Israeli radars are in Azerbaijan and Turkmenistan. Air defense systems of American bases are in Iraq, and obviously military bases. Air defense of the American base in Syria. American radars are in Saudi Arabia. Radars are in Qatar and Iraq, Kuwait, the UAE, Bahrain. There's a British radar in Oman. NATO radar systems in Turkey. Jordanian air defense. American fighter jets in the skies over Jordan or Israel. British fighter jets over Jordan and Israel. French fighter jets over Jordan and Israel. Air defense of American ships in the Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, British air bases in the region. There's a lot that could potentially be targeted, and that is not even including the possibility of the targeting of oil and gas assets, okay? Or, as many Iranian senior military officials have put it, the heart of Tel Aviv being an option for them. Now, Iran has announced that officially their hypersonic Khorramshahr 4 missile has been put into combat service. You can see it being tested right here. This is an incredible feat. It reaches around 16 Mach, while its speed inside the atmosphere reaches around 8 Mach. I'll show you this. Some people were saying, Jackson, how do we know for certain if a war is going to happen? I guess the only way you know for certain if a war is going to happen is if, in fact, you see 4K footage of one of these Khorramshahr 4 missiles headed directly for Tel Aviv. Now, I want to be clear for the YouTube community guidelines team. I do not support that. I support peace. But I am just letting you know that that is the clearest way to understand whether or not a war is about to happen. If you see the missile flying en route to Tel Aviv, that is probably the easiest way to understand. Anyways, lots of options, none of them good for the United States or Israel or any of the U.S. allies in the region. Iran has updated their ballistic missile systems. They have hypersonic missiles. The U.S. doesn't. I don't see this going well, but honestly, I do not see war being averted. Not by any doing of the Iranians, but by the immense pressure that is being put on them by the United States and Israel. And the Iranians have made it very clear they will not kneel under the pressure. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.